Jafora Fox, let's talk business. And let's turn it up a notch. It's your time to shine with Jafora Fox. It's all coming together. Just keep your eyes on God and tune in and let's talk with Jafora Fox. Hey, Jafora Fox. Jafora Fox.
Welcome to the Jafora Fox Show. I am your host, Dr. Jafora Fox, and I am glad you are here. If you're joining from LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube, this space is designed for thoughtful conversations about psychology, leadership, alignment, and the internal patterns that influence how we show up in our professional and personal lives. Each episode builds on the last. We've talked about pressure, we explored alignment, we examined boundaries, we discussed readiness and timing. And now we move into something many leaders experience but rarely name: overfunctioning. Tonight's conversation is about leadership without overfunctioning. And so if you're joining me, say hello and let me know that you are tuned in. If you would share with at least 3 people, I would greatly appreciate. So appreciate it. So share, say hello in the comments and let me know that you are joining me. And tonight's conversation is leadership without overfunctioning. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're the one holding everything together in a situation, at work, in leadership, or even in your personal life? If you have, type yes in the comments if that resonates with you. If you've been in a space where you feel like that you're holding everything together. Have you ever felt like you're carrying more than your share? Not just responsibility, but emotional responsibility, managing expectations, stabilizing situations, anticipating problems, holding everything together. At some point, many capable leaders began doing more than leading. They began overfunctioning. You began overfunctioning in your relationships, overfunctioning as a leader, overfunctioning in any role that you have. And so if that resonates with you, put yes in the comments and say hello. Good evening. God bless you. Trustee Carrie, thank you so much for tuning in. And God bless you, Elder Justine. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Elder Justine says yes. That resonates with her, where she's been in a place where she felt like she was the one holding everything together. And I can admit to that too as well. And it may look like strength on the outside. It can become exhausting internally, you feeling exhausted. So tonight we're exploring what it means to lead without carrying everything, because you can lead without carrying everything. And many leaders develop what psychologists call over-responsibility patterns. These patterns often begin with good intentions. You step in because you care. You take ownership because you're capable. You solve problems because you can. But over time, that shift is a subtle shift that will occur. Before you know it, responsibilities become over responsibilities. And it just happens. And it's subtle. You began solving problems that are not actually yours to solve. And this is even in our relationships, the workplace, as a leader, in your home, with your children. You began carrying outcomes that belong to others. And so I want you to reflect on this. Have you ever found yourself fixing problems that someone else should be learning to solve? Hello to my oldest brother. Oh, thank you so much, Pa. I love you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you tuning in. So I asked, have you ever found yourself in a space where you're learning to solve something and you're trying to fix other people's problems? And so if that resonates with you, put yes in the comments. So it's something that I just want you to notice too as well. So if you want, you can put yes in those comments. If you are that one who has always felt like you need to fix other people's problems. And leadership isn't only strategic, it also involves emotional labor. It takes a lot of emotions out of you when you're in a space where you're overfunctioning and you're trying to solve other people's problems. Leaders often regulate the emotional tone of teams, organizations, and environments. And this is just not your leader on your job, but you're a leader in your home, you're a leader at church. And these principles can also creep up on you as well. You stabilize tension, you absorb pressure, you manage reactions, but emotional labor becomes unhealthy when leaders begin absorbing everyone else's emotional responsibility. And you know, we all are leaders. You may not carry that title of leader on your job or in your, maybe you're working at the church. I'm sorry, not work at the church. Maybe you are in the church or in your family. And so you begin to take on everyone else's emotional responsibility. And so I have a question for you. Where in your leadership or are you carrying emotional weight that might actually belong to someone else? Are you carrying the emotional weight of others? I want you to think about that. I wanted you to take some time to think about where you have carried the emotional weight of others, because that can be extremely heavy. Hello. God bless you, Peter. Thank you so much for joining in. God bless you, Prophetess Cherise. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Prophetess and Elder Justine said, yes, it does become unhealthy. It really can become unhealthy when you take on the emotional weight of someone else. And there's a difference between guiding people and carrying them. And so I want you to pause for a moment and consider this. When in your relationships, are you absorbing emotional pressure that may not actually belong to you? So think about this is not just a leadership position on your job, but in your home, in your relationships, and just personal. This can be personal or in professional workspaces. And you take on that pressure that doesn't belong to you. And you're absorbing that emotional pressure, feeling like that you have to be the one to solve the problem. I have to be the one to get it done. I have to be the one to make this happen. And you'll soon discover, especially in the workplace, and it really in any relationship, wherever it's at, if you're not there, I promise you they're going to find someone to take care of what needs to be taken care of. And so I don't want you to be in a space, if you are, to continue to overfunction just because you're capable. And one of the things you want to practice, and we talked about this before, was boundaries. Know what part that you should be playing, play that part, and don't cross over into the boundaries of someone else. It'll help you because it will catch up with you. You'll be emotionally drained because you have been in a space of trying to do what does not belong to you. And so I am so excited if you're here joining me. on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. Say hello in the comments, and I love for you to engage as well. So I also have a question that I wanted to just put on the screen to pose for you. And so, do you ever step in to fix something simply because you can do it faster or better? Do you just step in and just fix it because you are able to do it, instead of allowing whoever that needs to take care of it, that they do it, even if it's not done the right way? Even if it's not done to what you may feel as, the expectation of it, do you ever give that person a chance to even try to learn? Because if you don't learn how to delegate and do that, then you'll become in a place of overfunctioning. And the people will expect you to do it. They'll be waiting for you to do it. Yes, Elder Justine said yes. And I tell you, all of this will catch up with you at some point or another if you don't really learn how to be able to be in a space where you're not over-functioning. And here's the paradox. The most capable people are often the most vulnerable to over-functioning. Absolutely a witness. It seems like at some point in time, it's like, I can just do it faster, and then, allowing, someone else to do it, or allowing someone else to hold and carry their own emotional weight, their own pressure. You kind of step in and, you're taking over. And before you know it, you're in a space of, over functioning. And then people are sitting back waiting on you to do what needs to be done, because they know how to fix things, but they know that you will step in. They know how to stabilize situations. But when leaders constantly overfunction, something unattended happens. Others may begin to underfunction, and the system quietly reorganizes itself around the person who carries the most. Awareness of that dynamic is critical. It is critical for you to know that when you are in a space of over functioning, then that's allowing someone else to underfunction. And think about how you can also take this on in your personal life, because this is just not about your professional life. This is in your life personally too as well. You will find yourself over functioning, and that means that someone else is under functioning. And so awareness is so important. It is critical that you are aware of what you're doing, how you're doing what you're doing, why you're doing what you're doing. And healthy leadership is not about carrying everything. It's about staying aligned while allowing others to carry their own responsibilities. Strong leaders provide clarity, they provide direction, they provide accountability, but they do not absorb every pressure in the system. And so I want to ask, what would change in your leadership, in your personal life, whether it's, along with a professional life, if you trusted others to hold more responsibility, even if things were not perfect at first, and you just allow them to take that on, allow them to be able to do what needs to be done, so that another thing you're doing, you're not helping them to learn. We need to learn our lessons. We need to learn what it is that we need to do, how we need to do things. And so when we allow others to be in a space where they are able to do what needs to be done, then they can learn and they can grow and they can evolve too as well, because great leaders want to see others grow. They want to see others evolve. So Elder Justine says, wow, that's good. When you're over functioning, it causes someone else to function less. Yes, absolutely. The under functioning, they will definitely under function. And that question alone can shift an entire leadership dynamic. And leadership does not require overextension. It requires alignment. It requires clarity. And when you're in a space where you are aligned, you're in alignment, you will have so much clarity about how this works. You will have so much clarity in the direction on what you need to do and how you need to do what needs to be done. And you will realize as you reflect on, because when you're in alignment, it brings so much clarity to you in how you do what you do, how you even show up for others, how you show up for yourself. And as I said early on, as we've been building up to this point in this particular topic about leadership without overfunctioning. And I want you also to think about leadership in your home, leadership in any capacity that you have, because I believe that we're all leaders. Maybe you don't carry that title, on your job, but I believe that we're all leaders. You're leaders, whether you're in the boardroom or the living room, that you are a leader, and how you are showing up is important so that you don't find yourself drained and exhausted and overwhelmed because you're overfunctioning and you're taking on everything and it's requiring others to function less. And so if you're just now tuning in, I want to welcome you. Hello, I am your host, Dr. Jafora Fox, and you can, if you're watching from LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook. If you're watching on the replay or you're watching live, you are welcome here. I am so glad that you're here and that you continue to tune in. If you joined in late, you can always go back to the replay and you can catch it on the replay because this is some great information. I promise you, if you follow it, it is going to help you in your life. And this is not something that's just textbook or something that I've read. This is something that I've lived. And so I bring you information from a psychological perspective, from a place of faith, also from a place of my lived experiences. And sometimes it requires the discipline, you all get this, of stepping back so others can step forward. Woo-woo. We have to acquire the discipline. It requires that. You have to step back and allow others to step forward. And when you make those decisions to step back and allow others to step forward, it will really allow you to see what's going on, because relationships, regardless of what they are, whether they're on a job, personal or professional, reciprocity has to be a must. And you'll find yourself overfunctioning. You'll find yourself overgiving. You'll see that you are the one who's making all the effort, that you're the one doing all the giving, and the other person is just receiving. And so you have to step back and allow others to do what they need to do. And I know that could be hard. Listen, I've been there, but you will provide yourself with more peace when you step back and allow others to show up. And the strongest leaders are not the ones who carry everything. You don't have to carry everything. You don't have to be the one that's always doing and always the one providing the effort, always the one making the initiation, always the one to, we want to make sure that you keep peace, absolutely. But sometimes you have to have conversations. And conversations are important. And I believe with conversations that for me, I allow my discernment, the Holy Spirit, to lead and to guide me when I need to have necessary conversations. But we do have to talk about things. And we want to talk about it in a space of maturity, spiritual maturity, emotional intelligence. And so you don't have to be the one that is carrying everything. So I would encourage you tonight to release what does not belong to you, so that you're not continuing to overfunction, and that you will step back and allow others to carry what belongs to them, whether that's a workload, whether that's emotional, financial, whatever it is that you are needing to do. You need to step back so that others can step up and do what needs to be done. And so I thank you all so much for your engagement. Yes, Peter says yes. And Prophetess says, thank you so much. Great show. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Really good information for sure. Thank you so much. Yes, absolutely. Help us, Jesus. Yes. Thank you, Peter. She says, I'm learning this. Awesome. You know, as long as you're learning and growing, that's all that is required, that we learn and we grow and we evolve. That part. Step back. Elder Justine said that's good. Stepping back so others can step forward. And then release what doesn't belong to you. Release what does not belong to you. I promise you, you will find you'll feel better. Your health will be better. Everything around you, you'll have peace when you are in a space to step back, allow others to step forward and do what they're supposed to do. My oldest brother, he's on, and I'm so excited. And he would say, you know, us growing up, he would always say, know the part that you play in a situation. Know the part that you play. And that's always stuck with me. That you know the part that you play. And most of the time, people don't want to be accountable for the part that you're playing. And so you want to create an environment where responsibility is shared and growth is possible. You don't want to have to do everything on your own. It should be shared. And so again, I'm so excited that you all are joining. Release what doesn't belong to you. And thank you so much, Elder Justine. And so I really want you to really let this resonate, let this soak in. And I appreciate you again for tuning in. Thank you for being here. I want you to think deeper, align fully, and lead differently. And so I'll see you next time on the Jafora Fox Show. Have an amazing night. God loves you. I love you. And again, thank you so much. You get an opportunity. Don't forget to share, because sharing is caring. And we all want others to be in a space that's around us to learn and to grow and to evolve. So God bless you and have an amazing night.
Jafora Fox, let's talk business. And let's turn it up a notch. It's your time to shine with Jafora Fox. It's all coming together. Just keep your eyes